Hey, so I'm back from holidays and I will just show you what I've built while on holiday. Yeah, I wanted to take a break from Redstone, but I'm addicted, so y'all know how this was gonna play out. Um, yeah. So, quickly before I'm gonna show all of those, why would you there's a big question here. Why would you do Redstone on holiday? Like, why? The reason is it's just Redstone for me is just a safe space. I enjoy doing Redstone, but it's also something where I'm feel at home and at ease doing. It's one of the my hobbies, if not my biggest hobby that I have in my life. So in the afternoons, yeah, I just did it. So playing a bit of Minecraft when everybody else was already asleep and I just couldn't sleep because I was in Iceland and Iceland is hella bright around this time of year, from just because it's so northern. So yeah, sure, it gets dark at like 2 a.m. There 2 3 a.m. Yeah, then it's dark, but before that it's really not. So yeah, I first made this, which is kind of like a free expandable piston. It's not straight up to expand this, and you'd have to adjust a few things, I guess, but yeah, we'll have to do. Yeah. I really just made it because I wanted to make my 3x5 piston or obelisk smaller, and my previous one had +1 on top, so yeah, this is just me shaving top. The original one had only 1.5 plus components, however this one is entity, soul sand, cobweb, plate, and sand, so yeah. It's smaller and that's all I really care about. Now this is an expandable 4 piston ore that's also serverless and it's really nothing special. I wanted to make a smaller one, also did some work on it, but yeah, got sidetracked. Also 3x5, but up full this time. But kind of top is pretty bad, you could easily shave the topmost layer and it's also just very slow. And this is kind of the same, but just faster. Yeah. Then I saw someone on Squids posting a 0.9555 triangle, which I guess you can't really call 5x5 anymore, but you get the idea. It's a 5 triangle, not triangle, 5 diamond door. Yeah. And I came up with my own layout. I don't know if that's also the layout they used. It just was that's an interesting idea to make a layout. And then I made a 0.75. And also, by the way, I'm not using newest terms because I just haven't adjusted to them yet. So yeah, I will maybe at some point. And then it made this, which is open 0.6. Pretty fine, funny stuff. It really wasn't hard to do. So yeah. Also, I made this layout, which I may wire at some point, which is 0.45 open and 0.3 close. But I mean, I actually kind of show this slow-mo maybe. It's nothing crazy. But this layout was because it does look interesting enough and it's pretty goofy. But also not seeming that hard to wire, so I actually wired it. And it really wasn't hard, and I found a lot of things that I could do better, so I made a second version that was smaller, over 100 blocks smaller, only 4 wide this time. But this door had so much air, so I knew I could make it smaller, and now it's only at 576. And I was this is still big, but because it's 4 wide, so could I do 3 wide? And I made it 3 wide. Now this is 456, which is not that much smaller, however, I'm pretty sure you can cut bottom, and you could also probably cut top. I feel like you can cut those both. Because this door, for being 3 wide, it really wasn't a lot of effort that I put into it. Yeah. Also, yes, this is the setup for boats is kind of not the right height, but there are ways to do this and make it at the right height. But I just couldn't be asked to do this alignment on an old Mac, so yeah, deal with that. Also, obviously, this is not gonna the final version. I will make this. I mean, even this has some iffy stuff but again, you could easily change that and make a version that has it doesn't have uncontained boat. I'm just couldn't be asked to do like that entity alignment shit while on a Mac. So if I actually like make a good version of this, which I'm thinking about doing, and like maybe making an uncut video about it again, then yeah, I will, like, when I copy to Synergy, copy a both setup for this that like is contained, or like maybe in that, or I won't even need this because obviously like I will cut bottom, so I can't use this bottom. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm gonna probably make an uncut video. I don't know what the next video is gonna be. I have not forgotten about the 3x3 hipster, the 2.15. I will make a tutorial for that. And maybe also for the 7x7. I've not decided yet if I shouldn't, or if I should. Because there's a high chance that like I will rather make it on a smaller 7x7 because that seems like more fun. Yeah, of the same speed, obviously. Yeah. That like there is one more topic I want to talk about that's kind of besides all of this, which is why have I kind of stopped doing uncut. And the reason for that is quite simple. I mean, like, it shows a lot more work, but there's also a lot more footage. And if I'm gonna like just, I don't even know if my PC is willing to do this. Okay, it's not willing to do this. And I guess look here. This has 2.9 terabytes of data, and this is basically just this folder. Like, there's a few other videos, but it's mainly this. And like, I mean, like, you can see also like there's not a lot of uncut here. If I go down, there are like, this is all, I think this is all uncut, like for the 7x7, like starting here to like here. The 7x7, the 6x6 was in a different folder that I also haven't cleared. There's some stuff here, like, it's all over the place, so the organization is a bit more difficult. That's problem number one. The second problem that is for me a bit more severe, also I think, did I like try to make the uncut version? Oh yeah, an uncut version that I think, wait, I don't know if I actually made this uncut. There's another problem with things like this, 2 parts. Nowadays, like, unless it's a small project, which maybe I'm gonna like continue to, or like start like to make uncut videos for small projects again. My big projects all take multiple settings and a lot more concentration and a lot more focus. Now, like for example, with these doors that you see here, like these aren't hard doors. Like, I just basically was sitting in my hotel room, maybe even watching anime on the side or just vibing, and like, yeah, just like there was like me building these doors. They're not hard, but if I build or work on a big door, like for example the 2.1 7x7, I mean, it's not like a crazy hard door, but it's a door that, especially if you make it for your first time, you need to focus a bit, and you need to like keep a few things in mind, to like leave space for poses and stuff, and you like somehow need to keep in mind all the entire sequence and stuff. Then also the way I work zero tick is a bit weird. At least sometimes it feels like that, compared to how other people do it. So there's that. Yeah. Long story short, uncut is just a lot of friction. Also, like, I mean, it takes more time, it takes more energy, it takes away from my focus. So I probably won't do uncut for big projects. Now, well, like I said earlier already, I probably will make a smaller version of this door, and for that I can very much imagine myself doing an uncut version. And in general, for doors that like don't require a huge amount of focus, like, yeah, sure, I don't mind making an uncut about that. The problem really comes from making making big doors that take a lot of focus. There's a high chance that those will never really become uncut. I still want to upload the 0.96x6 thing. Let me actually see. This should be up here. Like, this is all the files for the 0.96x6. This is the output files, 95 gigabytes. I think like I misremembered it being like more like 110. It's something funny about this. I don't know if I've told this already. If not, then excuse me. you see, oh, that says 4 hours 13 minutes. Okay, so it's not that long. And then you go like earlier and like wait 2 hours, and so it's only 1 hour to go. Like, let me actually find this. Yeah, and now like we're 4 hours 40 minutes in, and then it says 23 hours 59 minutes blah blah to go. Like I've literally found it like perfectly. That's crazy. So like the thing is big enough for the like default video player from Microsoft for Windows to glitch out, which I find hilarious. But it also shows just how much like shit this is. And like you have to remember, this is only the wiring. This doesn't include, like I also reset this, but like it doesn't include the sequencing, which like sometimes sequencing I'm in the game, sometimes I'm just not in the game. It doesn't like sometimes like when I think about solutions, I'm not even playing Minecraft at the time. There's so much with the store that like makes it hard to like even this like thing. I think I did a good job of explaining it, but also making this an uncut probably is one of the reasons why it took me 10 months, because it just didn't just take me the energy to be like, okay, yes, I can like wire this, and that's like like it didn't just take me like, oh, what talking. It didn't just take the energy of, okay, I'm gonna start wiring it all. It's really hard for me. It also was, okay, I also need to be able to commentate, and that kind of makes recording and just making videos way harder. And that's something I really wanna try and kind of get around, because like I wanna post more, and if I wanna post more, then I need to make the friction to record or the friction to make something or do redstone as little as possible, because I'm very easy at procrastinating, like I'm very good at procrastinating. So if there's a way for me to procrastinate, then I will procrastinate. And yeah, I think that doing uncut videos as much fun as it was also definitely hindered my progress when it comes to redstone. Because sometimes like also I sit in a VC with a friend of mine, and we just talk, and like I build on the side, which like that happens quite often, like especially with not that difficult doors. Yeah, so there are a few factors at play here. It's also like I already said, but I'm kind of combating this already. My like the feeling of having my doors not being good enough to upload onto YouTube. I mean, like I've just been uploading doors that I think are decent, that I personally like, and yeah, so far it's worked out. I mean, like I'm getting not as many views as I did, but I mean, I also took like a 4-month break, so I'm not gonna worry about that too much. Like it's also started with this, so like it will, like the views will come back. And also, to be honest, like the community I have right now and like the comments and stuff, they're way nicer, or like it's like they feel more just more like a more wholesome, like a more like the community right now seems nicer, even though like there are less people watching, and that's something I prefer over having a toxic community that would be like 10 times the size. If that makes sense. Like this video, and not this video, this channel is one where I value like the very small community aspect of it very much. Like if I want to create a YouTube channel with there's like like where I produce videos that are like not that niche, and like where I actually intend on getting like maybe a few subscribers, and like actually having like YouTube success in quotation marks, then I will do that, but not with this channel. Like this channel will stay my kind of shitposty, oh here, look at the cool thing I made, maybe you will also find it funny or interesting. And that's what I value about this channel, and that won't change. Yeah. That being said, I already said it and hinted at it. I will like switch, like not switch, but make another channel that where I will focus on making highly produced videos. And that seems like kind of counterintuitive, but for me, video editing has like just been a hobby of mine ever since, like longer than I've been doing redstone for. So yeah, and that's just something like I did do some videos where I edited on here, but like those were just the edits. And I discovered through those that I don't really like to do edits, and yeah, yeah, that's just like not my thing, because I'm very, very particular about how I produce my videos, which I mean also like, yeah, same issues I guess like as I have with other things, but sorry, yeah. Long story short, uncut videos about big projects will probably won't return. Something that will return, like I already said like a few times, I feel like I'm repeating a bit and just rambling on, are like the videos on smaller projects, like maybe if I wire this, like this 0.45 uh, open of these, like maybe I'm gonna do that. Like maybe I'm gonna showcase that, because I don't think it's really that hard. I have no clue, like there's some chaining here that's a bit AIDS, but yeah, it does seem like I should be able to do this in this size, which would be quite funny to like build the door like I first made the 0.6 in, but make it like 0.45. I think Blocks of Red is the record for smallest of these. Maybe I can try to beat that, I don't know. Yeah, I also like would like to see, like, because I made this completely by myself, this layout, but I wouldn't be surprised if he like uses a very similar or even the same layout, because like the way I do it, I also like have top remove these four like 5 blocks. So yeah, there's a high chance that this is very similar. I mean, like this basically is the same as on the 0.6. These are just like maxed and some a bit different, but totally different. But I do think this is something that would actually work. And the way I have an idea for the sequence here, I will have to see if that actually works. And if that does work, it's really just like having a long chain on the first edge and then a smaller chain that you can clock the shit out of. And if that's the truth and that's how I will be able to do this, then I will do this that way. Because then I could literally maybe even chain, or like not chain, but clock these doubles, this double, this entire thing, and the entire second two move, like the second and third move of this. Which, if that's like, if I can clock that, then the store is free, because like the first edge, yeah, sure, that will require some bad chains, but you don't need rep bad chains. You can just have like 0.45 3x3 type shit. So yeah. And I mean, yeah, there are some weird card paths, for example, this has to be happen on move 1, so that this can happen on move 2, and that's no good. But I mean, there are also ways to do that. Like I have a really similar thing here with this, where kind of to make the closing decent, I zero tick this and then move this in on move 1. So like it's not like it's insane to do, and actually like you can remove this. This is just was it there to for me to test a different sequence. And that's kind of like it really. Yeah. I don't know. This has been a very rambly video. But I got a lot, like I thought a lot about how I approach Redstone, my relationship to content creation, my relationship to like Redstone, and I've decided, yeah, I will also do some general changes besides just like what I've talked about here. This will like impact, like less impact the channel in the sense like the videos. It will just impact about what type I make. And first of all, I will stop, and that's something you don't even realize probably, but I will stop having so many projects. That's something that especially Doormaker keeps telling me, that that's like one of like the main flaws that I have, is I start too much and then get overwhelmed and then get burned out. I will only have one big project and maybe one small project on the side, or if they're really small, like then maybe 2 small projects. But I want to keep it really my focus on at maximum 2 projects. One is like the main one where I work on when I'm like, when I want to do Redstone and I want to actively like have a hard problem to solve, and one that's kind of like, yeah, I'm just exhausted from a long school day and I just want to play some Redstone, because for me, like doing piston doors and making piston doors is as fun as it is for other people to play PUBG or Call of Duty. It's just fun for me. So like the fun part, if I just want to have fun and not think too hard, especially after a hard school day, which will happen, I want to have something to work on, and that should not be the big door that like is like the huge thing I'm working on that like people are hyped for, and like I think that would add too much pressure. So that's like something I will cut out, and I will primarily switch, especially for the big projects, to zero tick. Because my problem is, as it stands right now, I'm good at a lot of things but great at nothing, and that's something that, I mean, yeah, it is like also strength, but for me, I've always viewed it as a weakness or flaw of mine, that I am too generalized. I have a really hard time specifying and honing in onto one specific thing in my life, and it doesn't really matter what. Like, that's not just redstone. For example, I did Rubik's cubes for 6 years, and usually what people do when they like learn Rubik's cubes, they just try to get faster and faster on like maybe like 3 or 4, or maybe on all the N by Ns, maybe on all the WCA events. And I mean, sure, like that's still a lot of cubes, like I think 14 or something WCA events. Like realistically, you learn like 7 different methods, and you're good to go. Not me though. I have over 100 different Rubik's cubes that like I only like know like 4 or 5 where I don't know how to solve them. For a lot of them, I made the methods myself. So like this kind of thing where I know a lot about a lot, but I don't know like the details and intricacies of the minute details. That's something that I really struggle with, and that I want to try to combat with like what I'm gonna do here on this channel with saying, yeah, I will only do this type of door from now on. Because I think I really need that specification, and that like separating my yeah, you get what I mean. I hope, at least. Yeah, so, and I've decided to switch to zero tick because I personally enjoy zero tick just the most. I think it's like when you look at a piston ore, it looks the most impressive, which is kind of unfortunate because it also means that other areas of redstone that are also really hard just don't seem as impressive as zero tick does, even though they all have their own very unique difficulties, which is a whole different topic for itself. However, I personally do like what really got me hooked on redstone was watching Alugia7 and like the videos that she posted back in the day, or not back in the day, but like 4 or 5 years old, I think at this point, like the 4.9 10x10, the 1.2 7x7, and the 3.05 9x9, and all like those doors, which are crazy and were crazy for the time and still are crazy. These doors are like these massive machines that were still like thought out pretty well. Those are what hooked me onto redstone in general. However, I never thought that I would be able to reach that, and I want to make an effort to try and reach, maybe not the heights of Alugia, but I want to get good at zero tick. And I want to get really good at zero tick. Like, I'm going to put my focus on zero tick. Now, I also will do probably a different kind of zero tick than most people do. Again, like, if I'm going to go into that, as it's like, it stops being about redstone, it starts just being a philosophical discussion about wiring ethics and wiring, like, how do you wire a piston ore? Because, like, people, in my opinion, there is a definite flavor and a definite taste that has nothing to do with the technicalities, and redstone being like a science, and it's more to do with redstone being an art. And this is a huge thing to get into, which I I'm maybe gonna make a video on this at some point, because I think it's a very interesting topic to discuss, but that's not what I'm trying to get at here. I have a very specific type of redstone I want in mind that I want to do, and that's what I'm going to focus on. And that is zero tick, but it will be a very specific kind of zero tick, and you will see that with like the next big doors. So I also still have other doors that I've like already started at like 50-70% complete. I will finish those. Same with like a lot of other things. Like I will like doors that are close to being finished, I will finish. And the small projects on the side, I will not restrict myself there. Sure, I'm probably also going to do a lot of zero tick just as a byproduct. If I'm starting to do a lot of zero tick, then that's like where all my skill will be, and then I will probably stay in this comfort zone. However, there's a good chance that I will still make like other doors on the side. Which is but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna restrict myself. I'm also not gonna announce anything for those. Because these small doors really are like things that I could be able to build in like a few days if I like sit down. while like a big door is something that like I wouldn't be unrealistic to say would take me like 2 weeks to a month of actually like not obviously not like 10-day work days, but like working on it every day for like 1 to 2 hours. And yeah, like small doors for me take like 10 hours, which also is like a issue in itself, but I'm pretty happy with that right now. Yeah, so that's where I stand right now, and I thought it might maybe interesting to kind of just talk you through my thoughts on like my situation right now. I'll also like start like I have 4 weeks now of basically nothing to do. 1 week of those I will be again like will be on a concert, and that's on the other side of the country, so I will be again not home, but that won't be as long and like not as far away, so that's good. Yeah, I guess like I've just been yapping about my life, and yeah, I don't know, I feel like I just had some things to get off of my chest, and if you're really interested in this channel you might find it interesting too. I will probably like write a comment so like people that are not interested don't have to watch through all of this, or maybe make timestamps, I don't know. But yeah, God, I'm always confused with making timestamps. I don't know why. It stresses me out the thought of making timestamps. It really shouldn't. But yeah, no, this has been just like me yapping, I guess. Yeah, is there something else I want to talk about? I don't think so. There is. Yeah, something I also thought about, which is actually like pretty likely that I will stream again and stream redstoning. I can't promise that that will be the case, especially because like I once streamed in like a VC, and boy, that was the most awkward thing I've ever done. So there's a high chance I will just never do that again. Yeah, sometimes also like with streams it's always been like hit or miss. Some streams have been really fun and like actually I had people watch me, and sometimes I'm just sitting there talking to the void, and that kind of feels a bit awkward. And I don't know, maybe I'm gonna stream. I feel like I kind of want to. It's also like something where I would really have to train my voice. I mean, it's also something, by the way, if like you're interested in like how I even came up with the discussion of like uncut videos. There was someone, I forgot the name, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names, but they like basically asked me, and I just kind of like, I mean, this response is kind of also to that, and also like was talking about my voice, because my microphones, for some reason, like my microphone setup is worth more than my monitors, which is insane, and it doesn't sound like it, and that's unfortunate, and that's in part due to me being very incompetent when it comes to audio engineering, but also due to me having a very, very quiet voice. So yeah, I will probably have to like spend money on a cloud lifter, and also I need to practice speaking more, which I don't know. I will like listen back to this and then see if my voice is bad or good right now. I mean, like my vocal cords are a bit strained today. Don't ask me why. So it's not like the voice, like the quality of this won't be perfect, even if like my mannerisms, no, it's the wrong word. My like, even if like the speaking and stuff right now is better than it usually is, it will still sound not so great because of my strained vocal cords. But I felt like I just wanted to record this video, talk a little bit about me doing redstone, and my struggles with it, because there's like redstone is very fun, but there are also like hidden sides to it that you don't really see and don't expect. I mean, there also are like expectations which I'm like trying to fully get rid of. Yeah, and then there also are collabs that like I really like collabing with people, but it can also be a bit stressful. So like I have a lot of I have some collabs lined up / like already started, and those I will finish. But I think at some point I will, like, besides maybe like with my really close friends, for fun with like a drawer or door maker, like I already do, like sometimes just have very like fun doors that I do with them, or door maker teaching me stuff, which also I will continue to do because I find it really interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Aside from that, there's a high chance that I will at some point, when like all the collabs I have like right now are going through, where I will just not do collabs anymore for some time. Which yeah, is probably also not the best part. Like it kind of comes down to me, like, as soon as I collab with someone, it doesn't feel like I actually deserve the credit on the door, even if I made over 50%. And that's, yeah, that's why I don't like, yeah, I think you get what I mean there. It's a topic in itself. Maybe I will do collabs again in the future. Maybe I will never stop doing collabs, because it turns like maybe I will be able to work with it better, but no promises there. So yeah, I don't know. This has really just been a lot of self-help talk. Yeah, if you've watched it all the way through, then I'm very thankful. If not, then don't worry. This was like my most yappy video ever. Yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one, which will be a regular redstone video again, I hope. So I'm out. See ya.